Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. In this occasion, I would like to present about the Old English literature, also known as Beowulf. Okay, let me saying just a few words about the point of materials. The first, we have the history of Old English literature, and the second, the figure or the characters, and the third, the ideology of the figure, and the fourth, the literary work of Old English literature, and the last, the characteristic of literary work. The first chapter is explain about the history of Old English literature. All right, the history of English literature starts from the 5th century AD. There are three colonizing tribes, also known Angels tribes, Saxon tribes, and Jutes tribes, entered Great Britain and controlled most of Great Britain. And then, of the year from the year 793 AD, the Anglo-Saxon age changed to the Anglo-Saxon Viking age. And then, the year 43 AD, Roman armies conquered parts of England, and the Celts inhabit Wales and Scotland, which were difficult to subdue. The 7th century BC, the invasion of the Celtic tribes, who were nomadic tribes and had roamed Europe. And at the end of the 6th century AD, Christianity entered the Anglo-Saxons from the south. It was Augustine of Rome and 46 of his followers in southern England in 597. And the north is handled by Aidan of Scotland 635. Let's jump to the Let's jump to the character of Old English literature. Um, I have summarized some characters that match of Old English literature. There are four characters. The first is King Alfred. He is king of West Saxon government at the 871 until 906. He is also the cornerstone of Anglo-Saxon chronicle. And the second character is Aldhelm. He is classical Latin poets and scriptures. He known to use a lot of figurative language in his poetry. And the third, Venerable Bede. He is Northumbrian Christian prose writer, father of English literature. He is carrying impersonal writing style, clear and intelligent. And the last character is Alcuin. He is prosaic from Northumbria. His work discusses grammar, rhetoric, and dialectics. In the third chapter, I will explain. In the third chapter, I will explain about the characters' ideology of Old English literature. But in this chapter, I will not explain about all of the characters' ideology, but two two characters only. The first is character's ideology from King Alfred. He states about the importance of literacy and urge his subjects to learn and read English. Uh, it is known as Principles of the Anglo-Saxons Legal Code. And the second character's ideology is came from Aldhelm. He compares two different things or ideas in his literary work. For example, necklace similar to virtues, and then pearl or jewel similar to goodness or merit, and purple flowers similar to simplicity or modesty, and white swan similar to old age. Next, I will report you about the literary work of English literature. Next, I will report you about the literary work of Old English literature. There are some well-known of literary work in the Old English literature. For example, the first one is Beowulf. Beowulf contains the heroic actions that Beowulf takes to protect Denmark from Grendel and his mother's attack. This poem symbolized the other side of Knights of Cheats. And the second, Finnsburg Fragment. The poems is explain about Beowulf's battle replay. And the third, Walter. The poems is about the life of Walter and Aquitaine. And the fourth, Anglo-Saxon Chronicle. It is a heroic poetry about the Battle of Brunanburh. And the fifth, Battle of Malden. It is a poem in memory of Earl Britnod and his soldiers who died in a Viking battle. And the most well-known literary work is The Pastoral Care. It is a collection of prose by Alfred that contains how priests act to carry out their duties. Nah, and the end of the chapter is summarized about the literary works characteristic of Old English literature. I have determined the difference between the prose and the poetry in Old English literature. First, the prose is more emphasized on the practical aspects of character. And then the prose was associated with the Benedictine Reformation. It is a movement to enforce discipline in an already weak monastery. And the last, the number of collection of legal poems embedded in houses of worship. And from the poetry point of view, I have concluded that the spell unit consists of a single line, four syllables with a strong emphasis. And then the poetry has a pause. Each line is divided into two parts and two hard phrases. And the poetry is carrying similes and metaphors. Alright everyone, that's all from me. Thank you for your great attention. If you had any question, don't hesitate to contact me or ask me. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.